All right, it's top four time. This tournament just cut to the top four. And let me open up Chrome really quick so I can show. This is funny. Here's our top four decks. Of course, we have me playing Boros. We have Rakdos Scam, the Jund Scam list actually that we played against earlier. So it's cool to see them up top. And then we have the exact net deck of the deck list that I'm playing and another Boros Energy list. So that's 3 out of 4 Boros Energy at the top. This list that I was singing praises of before that we lost to is the list that went flawless 5-0 through the Swiss stage, and we're playing them again at the start of the playoffs here. This is top four, so we're in the money for prize money, which is awesome. But unfortunately, we have to play the deck that we lost to, and ooh, I think they cooked with this deck list. I think they're a little better than us. We'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and close that Chrome right there. All right, opponent goes first. We have a sweet energy hand, though. Look at this. Double Galvanic Discharge, Energy Generator, Energy Payoff. Woo, sign me up. We just need to not get run over, and it's going to be pretty hard to get run over when we're starting out with double discharge and a life gain source. So let's go ahead and immediately discharge this Ragavan. I'm not the kind to screw around with a Ragavan. Guide of Souls, yep. And an Ocelot Pride. Okay, one of these is getting shot. I think the Guide of Souls is the one that should go. I think that's the stronger card overall, if I had to be honest. All right, and then we're going to do Guide of Souls plus our own discharge right here. We have 3 extra energy to spend on this amulet later. There's our Amped Raptor. We gotta hope it doesn't hit a removal spell, because that'll let them crash through with Ocelot Pride. It didn't. That's good. All we need to do is stabilize here. That's the name of the game. Alright, sweet. I'm happy to play this Parlor here. And then we're gonna flash in Philia, and then we could take it from there. A little sussy, just passing, and, hoping we don't die. But hopefully this Philia goes places. Hopefully they don't have another Guide of Souls to spend this energy. That is a Ragavan gonna get dashed in. Oh, and our guy's getting knocked out of the way. This is tough. This is tough here. I should have flashed this in response. I actually lost out on 1 life here. I don't want this Ragavan hitting me, but then my Philia dies. So we can let ourselves get hit by Ragavan and then block the Ocelot Pride like this. This is also an option. And we get to keep our Philia in play, and that's something I value. We can get a lot of value off of this. I think I'm going to let the Ragavan hit me. Hopefully they don't roll well. We're on the back foot, so we need a little bit of good luck to come through, and unfortunately they hit an Amped Raptor that's going to block my Philia very well. This is rough for us. We have to tap this and hit something quite good here. My own Ragavan, I wouldn't call that quite good, to be honest. It can block, and it can trade for the other Ragavan, but I would not call this good. Alright, we're going to trade Ragavans here and block. We will go to 6. Alright, sweet. There is a static prison, so there's hope in this world. Let's activate an unstable amulet. We unfortunately hit nothing here. This ain't good, boys. This ain't good. What am I supposed to do here? I don't want the answer to be nothing, but I think the answer might be just like play static prison, put Jugata into my hand, and then nothing. Get rid of this raptor. Here. We're gonna go to 2. This is not optimal at all. I'd love to draw like a Flage. That would stabilize us. I think we're going to take the damage here. Thankfully, opponent doesn't have anything. We drew a Guide of Souls, which is not quite a flage, but it is quite good. This is going to be enough blockers. I'm going to see if there's something better than Giganta hiding under here. There's a Ragavan. So, hear me out. We'd rather play Giganta and pay one more life. I'm going to go to 1 and then back up to 2 here. No attacks. This is tough. Because, oh no, now they get to fly something and win. Okay. Diddy's Blessing acquired. They have lethal once they attack in the air. I'll let them do it. Yeah, just the one attacker is plenty. Alright, so when we sideboarded before, I brought in the Archons and I said maybe this will slow them down enough. It can block their flying attackers. I don't know if that's the wisest thing ever. We're going to be on the play here. So we'll put in the extra static prisons for removal, of course, and then just take out this clunky Philia, I believe. This card's just so awkward in like opposing amped raptors and other things that just block it. I really wish I just had that Pixie instead. Or just some other way to flicker things. I could instead cut one Fable and one Philia and have the deck like this. I think this is pretty solid. I don't think Archons are really going to help. Alright, we cannot keep this, unfortunately. But this is sweet. This is your Guide to Souls Raptor hand. This is the thing that gets you back into it, right? Put back that extra land. I want all these cards. They're very high quality. Alright, if they play anything, we were going to play Raptor first. But since they played a removal spell, we're going to play a Johnny.
Fight beside me, brother.
Alright, Johnny's gonna eat a removal spell. This is fine. Bunch of 1-for-1 trades. It could almost be called a 1-for-0 because we've got to keep this little 2-1. Ooh, I want to play this Guide to Souls to get the most out of energy generation, but I would love to get ahead and stay ahead on board. Let's do that. I would love to draw another land. I know I threw the extra land back, but I'd so much rather have an Amped Raptor than a land. I do just want to draw one. Opponent has the energy. They are going to spend it flying, so we're racing out here. Okay, there's a cool Flage. I think what we want to do here is play an Amped Raptor yet again. See what we hit. Maybe that could have came after combat. Maybe. A Static Prison to hit your guide that you just spent energy on. Don't mind if I do. You gonna flicker it somehow? What you got there? Get in. They do have a Galvanic Discharge. Okay. Hey, sweet. Nothing from them. Interesting. Interesting. What are we doing here? We're paying? I think we're playing this Unstable Amulet, trying to hit our land drop. Or we can play Guide of Souls, and then fly. And just get really aggro. An interesting one. I do like the aggro line here. I can always play Amulet next turn. But I would really love to hit that third land drop so I can have Flage to answer Luris. Raptor by itself is a 3-turn clock in the air. Yeah, they're not going for Luris. They need answers. It'll land. Okay, there's the Luris by itself. Alright, cool. We're gonna pay here, and then we're gonna go ahead and fetch up a land. We'll play Flage. We'll get a Sacred Foundry because we only have one red source otherwise. And that's a concession. We're gonna go to game 3. Oh, right. So let's think about our sideboarding. Honestly, am I changing it up? Going second? Do we want Ragavans out, maybe? Hmm. Ragavans out, Archons in. What we could do is we could take Ragavans out and try to like lean on Philia Containment Priest, but I think that's too cute. I think it's way too cute. I think we keep it the same that we just had it. Do wish I had some sideboard cards for the matchup. Wonder what I could even do. Maybe one of those your opponents can't get counters cards is playable. I'm going to have to look through the Timeless card pool and see if I could see anything. We're going to keep this because it has a Ragavan and a few answers. It is a little land heavy, though. I think we're going to be disciplined and just shoot off that swords. Okay, there's a Johnny.
Nothing can break out.
And our boy Amped Raptor. Go ahead and grab a basic here. Another Amped. Very nice. So now we have extra energy for our Static Prison. We can get rid of the Sajani whenever we want to. Right, we will not be flipping the Ajani. I mean, they don't have a red permanent, but I don't want to tempt fate here. Because if they never played a red permanent, what I could do is just attack Ajani down with Raptors. But, you know, my opponent's not stupid. They know that, too. They played this deck. What are we looking at? Are we looking at shooting your own Raptor to flip Ajani? No, we're looking at a legend rule here. Okay.
Nothing is more important than family. My axe will find its mark.
Ooh, Ocelot Pride. Interesting.
More join our cause!
Very interesting. So we have a lot of choices here. We have a lot of choices here. We just shoot the Ajani clean. I think I want to get them to block. And I think the way to do that is we start by attacking this Ocelot Pride here. And now I'm going to attack Ajani with my Raptors. And my goal here is just to get them to throw away some cat tokens chumping for him. I did throw away a cat token. So we'll call that mission accomplished, and then we'll get rid of Ajani. Ragavan, he's not doing much. I think I'd rather have the Surveil land. You could always dash him if our opponent gives us an opening. And good to note is that that's 2 Ajani's down, so they're very unlikely to be able to like find even more Ajani's and legend rule him. Alright, well, he won't be flipped at least. Alright, there is an Ajani in the bin for Luris. He will be flipped if things go well for our opponent. Let's see what we can find off the top. An amulet with 6 energy. That's sweet. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, Windswept Heath. Okay. Not great. Unfortunately, we're on the back foot again. Opponent does need to keep generating mana or energy in order to keep this static prison up. So in 2 turns, we might get this back. And we will be able to exile a Johnny again. That is going to be a nice Mox Ruby. But no red permanent yet. Interesting. So perhaps we can let a Johnny flip. If they attack us, I think we will. Yeah, Johnny, he's going to get the flip here. And Ragavan is always going to get blocked, so let's just block the max number of cats here.
Hunt isn't over till I bloodied my axe.
I wonder if they go for another Ajani here. They do, nice. And now they can put a counter on every cat, right? That'd be interesting. I know they're thinking about it. I think that's what I would do here. No, they're just gonna make another cat boy. That's cool.
Into the fray.
Oh, we're whiffing, unfortunately. I guess the best play for us at this point is just put Giganta into hand. Not great at all. We could have played the Monumental Henge, but that is a lot, and I mean a lot of mana to activate the ability. I don't think we'd be able to activate it and do stuff with it. I'd rather pay 8 mana for a Giganta than activate this and maybe hit something. Alright, let's see if they put a counter on every cat this time. Still no red permanents, which is kind of insane.
We need all the strength we can muster.
No attacks? That's so interesting. I would have attacked. They gotta get me dead here. They can't dilly-dally for too long. Alright. We could play this and hit the Ajani. That seems pretty good. And then we could also go ahead and play Giganta as a big blocker. I like that. Now, we can't kill any cats on their team, or this thing's gonna flip again, but, you know, one thing at a time. We're also running out of energy, which is good for us. This is a very sketchy situation that we found ourselves in. We can activate Henge this turn coming up, which is awesome. I see no red permanents. I'm blocking. Interesting attack. I think I'm cool to block like this. They do get to replay this off of Luris and then thus gain some life. Trigger? Well. Oh, they get to buff the squad. I forgot about that. Oh, can they... Oh, they can kill Giganta! Oh my god, that's so many buffs. Why didn't they try to kill me with all those buffs? That's crazy. Forgot about that. Forgot how many times they could click that button. That's enough to kill Giganta. It's insane. They could have totally killed me if they attacked with everything. I don't know why they didn't.
To me!
Maybe I miscounted. Oh yeah, I'm totally dead on board this turn. Alright. Activate? Probably need a Flage or something kind of crazy. And I think this is game. I think the better build of the deck won. I'm gonna let them do the honors and kill me, of course. Oh, I get a static prison back, which means I can't hit the Ajani or perhaps hit the Luris. Ah, they lost that, so they can just Luris it back. Let's grab the Luris. Or the Ruby Collector. Ruby Collector's also screwing us up. Let's grab Luris. to get a redraw. Or they could just get a bajillion ruby collector activations, which is what I would personally go for.
Raise your blade!
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, one more blocker here. And then we're going to block as much as humanly possible, but it's not going to be enough. Yeah, look at that. It's so much damage. I think they had us dead to rights like 2 turns ago, but they were just coy about it for whatever reason. Maybe they wanted to be super sure. They were probably playing around a couple removal spells in my hand. No, bright. Yeah. Oh, it's unfortunate that we fell out of the tournament in the top 4, but we did at least get 4th place. We're tied for third, 4th place. I think there is a 3rd place tiebreaker match, actually. So we can go ahead and show that as well. I'm looking at the tournament. It's the same payout for 3rd versus 4th, so I guess it's just for fun. So if we do that matchup for fun, I'll show it. If not, I was so excited to see this version of the deck. I'm going to show it up one more time. This is sweet. This is sweet. This Nurturing Pixie is awesome. I'm going to try this out. Like I really thought that the Ocelot Pride version of this deck I had before we cut the Lyrisis was really good, and it was just missing something. I think what it was missing was more Wonder Nurturing Pixie and Ruby Collector. At least for the purposes of being all in and fast. This deck might get destroyed by a Fury. Might or might not. We'll have to see how the meta settles. Right now, this is an awesome meta call, and it beat the crap out of my deck. I'm so happy to see this. I'm so happy to see other people taking inspiration from the deck I originally made. And I'm gonna keep playing this deck and variations of it until we find the perfect build. I'll definitely play something else after this tournament, though. I think I needed a little bit of a break from Boros. But this is cool. This is so cool. Hey everyone, it's the next day. I spent a lot of time yesterday chatting with the other guys, including Gage, who won the tournament, and I've made a couple of tweaks to the deck list. I just want to share my current thoughts on the deck and how it performed yesterday, and how you might want to play this mid-range version of the deck moving forward. So, just a quick bit on the tournament. I only showed the semifinals, so we ended up not playing the losers finals because 3rd and 4th place had the same prize payout, and the guys also ended up not playing the winners finals. They just agreed to split because they didn't want to play another Boros mirror because it was Boros versus Boros yet again in the finals, which is really funny. So here's the deck. I've made a couple of changes. I've gotten up to 3 copies of Flage because I do think this is the best card in the deck right now. I might even want to play 4. So someone else on Discord playing 4. I'm very tempted to play 4 and get rid of another Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Also changed out the removal suite in the main deck to have Lightning Bolt, and the main change I made to the deck is I added Ocelot Pride back in. We took out Philia, if you saw yesterday. I was repeatedly sideboarding it out. It's really awkward in a lot of matchups. It's terrible in the mirror match. So we're back to the busted Ocelot Pride, and I played this version a bit in ranked, and it was so much better. I really missed having access to this card. Yes, this is a card that just dies to Bowmasters, but man, the power level is just through the roof. To the sideboard, we made a couple of changes. Archon of Emeria, I decided against it, and then we're back on the Deafening Silence plan. We have 3 copies of that. Deafening Silence offers a very similar effect to Archon when you're playing against unfair decks and you want to slow down a combo deck. It just has the downside of not coming with a creature body, but creature body was 3 mana. It dies to Lightning Bolt in every removal spell in the format, and it wasn't that good against fair matchups like I thought. It is okay, but really 3 mana is just so much, and it dies to every single removal spell. So if I were to play Archon against a more aggressive version of this deck, it would just die to a Bolt or a Galvanic Discharge every single time. And I spent 3 mana, they spent 1 mana. That's not a good exchange. 3 exile removal spells on the sideboard. This has been more or less the same. I can't remember if I changed this last night. We're at 2 Pithing Needles, which is also the same, up to 2 Hearse, and up to 4 Blood Moons. The other things I removed from the sideboard to make room for that extra moon is Containment Priest, because we took Philia out. We don't have the cute Philia Priest combo. It was way too cute always. I never really got value out of flickering too much stuff. 4 Blood Moon is awesome. Blood Moon is going to win you games. This sideboard, of course, can change as the meta changes. You're going to want to tech this against whatever unfair deck is in the meta. There's also like a couple of other cards I'm considering. I saw a couple other people putting Vexing Bauble in their sideboards for this deck. I'm personally not sold on it, but if Fury Scam becomes really, really popular, maybe you want to play that card. And I'm also trying to think of sideboard cards that could be really good in the mirror match for when I'm playing against other Boros decks, specifically ones that are a bit lower to the ground. I was trying to think of, oh, maybe sweepers that just do 1 or 2 damage to your opponent's creatures. Maybe a creature that, when it enters the battlefield, it exiles an opponent's creature, something like Skyclave Apparition. That particular card won't work with Giganta, but maybe I play a card like that in the sideboard for the mirror matches. Maybe I have a card that says like destroy all tokens for when opponent's going first and goes off with Ocelot Pride, but like none of those really seem like great things to do in my head. I haven't figured out the exact card, so if somebody has a sideboard card for the mirror, feel free to suggest it. Other than maybe Fury, Fury is the other option, but I don't like playing a 5 drop with Amped Raptor. But hey, maybe a sideboard Fury would just kick ass in the mirror, and I should like put 2 copies in the sideboard. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this little tournament video. This is the version of the deck I'm gonna keep jamming and ranked. I'll keep the box field updated if I do make any future changes to it. I think the mana base is good. I'm thinking of maybe doing the second parlor. I don't have it crafted yet, but I've been wanting to fetch it more than once. Just the thing is, we're only a 23 land deck, so we're going to be going really down on untapped turn 1 sources. This is not an untapped turn 1 source. This is also sometimes not untapped. And I really don't like playing too many sources that are tapped in these aggro decks. I think that's about it. Thanks for watching, thanks for coming, and congrats to Gage for getting first place with the really sweet Nurturing Pixie version of the deck list.